back to work on the old 7.3. Finally get to replace the shifter bushings here, and then that little rubber boot that's all basically missing in here. Then of course a new gasket. Finally got the parts needed for doing all that. Big thank you to a good buddy of mine in Washington. A lot of these companies don't like shipping to Alaska, or you know, they absolutely charge you outrageous amounts of money to do so. So I had this sent over to his place, and then he relayed it up to me. So big thank you to him. And that's what it's all about, having contacts everywhere and friends that'll help each other out. So definitely helpful in these situations. So anyways, we'll get this torn apart, get the new stuff on it, and get it bolted back down. Got what was left of the inner boot cut off of there. So now if you push the main boot up, you can get to these bolts here and actually separate the stick itself from this shifter portion. So we'll get these bolts undone. And then we can slide the new inner boot down onto here and then get it tucked into this plate. But first we'll clean everything up, of course. All right, all cleaned up. This is torn, but oh well, we're gonna roll with that for now. Got the new boot on there. Just sprayed it full of WD-40 and it went right on. And it's into the plate good. And then all this is cleaned up. It's ready for the new bushings. So we'll get her bolted back on. There we go. She's ready to go back home. Now we won't get any dirt going into the top of the transmission with that replaced. And of course the new bushings. So we'll get her put back in there with the new gasket on the bottom side of this plate. Get her bolted down and then screw the boot back to the carpet. And she'll be good. There she is, minus the main boot being reattached. Looks good. Now dirt won't get in there. So already feels better. It's not as sloppy in gears like it was. Feels a lot better. So between that and the Heim joint on the clutch rod, it ought to shift a lot smoother and better now. So we'll get that finished up, and then we can take this thing for a cruise and try out the new Edge Revolver tuner on it. All right, back together. We'll get her fired up and take it for a drive. Also did one more upgrade here. Finally got LEDs put in it, so that ought to be way better. We'll get to try them out tonight too, so that's even a bonus. Put this back down, had it out of the way for the shifter stuff. Turn our high idle on and let it warm up some more. All right, let's try her out. LEDs seem pretty good. Need to adjust them up some. It's starting to snow again. That's just great. See how the high beams are. It's pretty dang good. Of course, I got the light bar on there too, but Can't beat that. We'll get her warmed up a little more before we start playing with tunes. Just drive it around normal, and that way we're not wrecking anything. Okay, she's warmed up, so we'll go on number 3 here. Past high idle. See what it does. We're in 4-wheel drive. Quite a difference right there alone. Get up here and try the next one. Gonna have to replace that shifter boot. It's letting too much noise in here. It's worse than it was, so being that that rubber sound barrier's ripped, it's probably why. So that's something to improve on, but we'll drop down to 2nd gear and then we'll switch that tuner up to number 4 and see what she does. She's pretty rowdy. Well, there we go. Got to play around with the truck a little bit, mess with the tuner some. Definitely happy with it, and can't wait to keep trying it out. So, until we can get it out in the daylight and play around with it some more. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and until the next snow adventure, we'll see you later.